Okay, welcome everybody. I appreciate all of you for helping me out with Unity. I believe I will have 4 of you. Yep, there's going to be 4 of us working on the Unity games. And I feel like you all have the ability to really help me out here. You all have my number. So if there's any problems, please feel free to contact me. There's going to be 5 games for Unity. You will get 2 and you have to evaluate them. So the first thing that I would do if I was you all is I would print out the attached PDF in the email that you received for this game. So as you see, here's the email, print it out, put the name of the team on here, put it like right here or right here. Then you're going to open, and then first you're going to do this section. Second, you're going to do this section, and then third is all about flow. So after you've played the game enough, you'll know what flow is and how it flows as a game. The first thing is more about pre-planning. It's all about the pre. This one's all about the actual structure. I'm doing this with my mouse, I apologize. This one's about structure and this one's about the flow. This is pre-planning, this is structure, and this is flow. So you've printed it out, you're ready to go. Let's open up a folder, which is what you're going to do. You're going to look for the link to the game, and you're going to look for the game documentation. So pull up the game documentation. Here you go. I grade the structure. You grade the content of it. So let's look at it. You are going to want to look at the, I have to sneeze, these 2 things, and, excuse me, the appendix. This is where you're going to find things like themes. And this is where you're going to find all of the supporting documentation. Now, what we want to do is first go to the very end and look for our code and look for our documentation. Because it says we need to look for game layouts and storyboards. So we also need to look for functionality and code. So anything that has to deal with pre-planning, drawings, codes, reference. So here we go. Here's our code. Here's more code. Here's code snippets. Looks like here's screenshots of the game, but there's no storyboards and there's no game layout chart. So in this case, they get nothing for this whole section, but you can grade them on this section. Just look at the code, see if it makes sense, yada yada. Now there's nothing in here about Unity prefabs or components, so they don't show you anything from Unity itself in terms of what's inside of Unity. No screenshots of Unity. They just showed you some code, so they get nothing on this one, and they'll be able to grade them on these 2 right here. So they have to provide you with documentation of their code and of their game, rather than just let you show them, rather than just having you play the game. This is nice, but this is post-production. I want pre-production materials. With that being said, part of pre-production is having a plan. So we want content. What's the content? What's the purpose? What's more content? What's the purpose? Right? We want all these things. Target market, stuff like that. So the name of the game for this year was supposed to be Duality. Right? Duality is supposed to be like hot versus cold, heavy versus light, hungry versus full, evil versus good, lightness versus darkness, talkative versus silent, like Penn and Teller. Right, the magicians, you get the idea, right? There has to be some kind of duality. So you will have to print out or open up this document and actually read this document. And yeah, it's going to be super important for you to do that. Next up, after you've graded the written documentation, which most teams I'm finding as I'm going through it, 3 to 5 minutes. Honestly, it's super easy. If it takes you 10 minutes, that's great. If you take more than 15 minutes, I'd say you're taking too much time, or you're doing what I'm doing, which is drinking coffee and relaxing. And I guess that's cool too. All right, next up. You're grading them on, does it have a welcome screen? Wow. Why is it always just default to the biggest one? Does it have a welcome screen? Does it have a tutorial? Does it have a playable level? Needs those 3 things. Welcome me to the game. Tell me how to play the game. And let me play the game. And as you play it, you're just going to, these are all check marks, right? Check mark, check, check. or an X if it doesn't have it. And honestly, I believe the check marks are super simple to follow. Does it have a welcome screen? Does it look good? Is there a clear path forward? Are there buttons to press, right? Does it blend the tutorial into the game? Interactions, teaching, conciseness, is there unobtrusive messaging? Stuff like that. Clear visuals to guide me through the learning. Does it have it or does it not? Just grade it and then keep going. Next up is integration of theme. That means as you've played the game, you've gotten through as much as you can. Did you see their theme present in the game? And this is where it's going to come from this document right here, right? What was their goal? What was their theme? What was their game design? What were their mechanics? What was their idea? And what did you see that in the game itself? And then over here, technical execution, be very lenient with them. Unity is hard. Does it have movement? Does it have triggers? Is it functional? Are there minimal bugs? Keep it simple. After that, you should have these two sections done. Comes the game flow rubric, and it does flow over to the other side. Okay? This is more about the flow, the feel of the game. Concentration, player skills, control, clear goals, feedback, immersion, immersion, right? And there's even a section for bonus points if you want to give them bonus points for something. Okay, and once again, this is very checklisty. Does it provide stimuli from different sources that are relevant to gameplay? So this would be like sounds. These would be like, if I have walk across something, is there a button that pops up and says, hey, press this button? Is there a blinking sound? Is there an aura around something? Does right, there needs there's the level painted green where you need to go. You know, be very open with your mind on this one. Really, honestly, the rest pretty much speak for themselves, right? After that, you're going to total up the points, put them here in these three sections, total, and then put it up a total here. Send me this document. I will compile it into one master document in the end, and let's go. Now, how do you actually play the game? Once again, I don't know if I went over that. There should be a link to the game, which here's a text file. If I highlight it, copy it, paste it, it should take me right there, and I should be able to play the game. So perfect, I'm playing the game. Every team should have one. This team gave us a zip file. When you extract it, there's an executable file inside of it. I think I extracted it in my downloads, actually. I did. I extracted it over here, and it will be leviathan.exe. Just want to double click that one. So there we go. Your team will get something. Oh, goodness. Right, so let's go to Scenarios Heralds of Unity, link to the game. This one's copied, and this one's pasted over here. And boom, here you go. It's inside of itch.io. So go ahead, play the game. You're good to go. I appreciate you guys' time and your effort in this. Once again, call me if you have any issues. I am visiting somewhere. I'm out of town, but I got my cell phone on me. Hit me up with a text first. Be like, yo, Gabs, can I call you? I'll be like, sure, call me on this time, and I'll walk you through it. And I'll even grade it with you together. And this should be fun. This should be really fun. Let's just have some fun. Let's just be really cool. You know how hard it is to make a game in Unity, and if you don't, it's hard. It's so hard. So got to give these kids some credit. And then I think next year we have some new ideas. So let's get ready for that as well. With that being said, I appreciate you all. Thank you for your time, and let's go.